Hello and welcome to today's class. In this class, we'll be learning characteristics of living things. This video is brought to you by UC Tutorial Home Free Online Lesson. UC Tutorial Home Free Online Lesson offers variety of subjects, so kindly locate your subject of choice, watch, learn, and pass your exams. Also, do well to subscribe to our channel so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be the first to be notified. So invite your friends to do the same. So let's dive into the class we have today. Now, we're looking at characteristics of living things. What are the things that make something living? When we say this is a living thing, what is that very thing in it that makes it living? And the characteristic of living thing can be acronyms with Mr. Niger plus D. Mr. Niger plus D. Now, let's look at them one after the other. M stands for what? M stands for movement. M stands for movement. Basically, all living organisms move. Every living organism move. As long as you're a living organism, one of your characteristics is that you must move. You must move. Move either part of your body or move from one place to another. For example, plants, when you put them in a room, maybe you put them in a pot and then expose them. Maybe you planted a bean seed in a pot or in a container and you left it in your room. After some time, because that seedling is not getting enough light, you're going to see the plant seedling, it will begin to move towards the direction of light. We refer to it as movement. Are we together? So every living organism move. However, only animals locomote. All living organisms move, but only animals locomote. Locomotion. What is locomotion? Locomotion means movement from one place to another. We refer to it as locomotion. So only animals locomote, but all living things do what? Move. They move their body in one way or the other. Number 2, R. The first R refers to what? Respiration. All living organisms respire. What do we mean by respire? They breathe in and breathe out. In fact, that's what makes you living. If you're no longer breathing in, nor breathing out, that means you're no longer a living thing. So every living organisms breathe in and breathe out. Next, N. N stands for nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition simply means feed. All living organisms feed. As a living organism, you must eat. You must feed. So whether you are the one producing your food or you are eating the food produced by others, the underlying factor there is that you feed. Next, R stands for what? Irritability. So irritability simply means respond to stimuli. Respond to stimuli. Respond to stimuli. All living organisms respond to stimuli or stimulus. For example, maybe you are standing like this, waiting for someone or waiting for a car to pass. And then somebody from the back, a friend of yours, comes and tickle you. You are going to respond. Or you quickly came back from work and then you rushed to the kitchen, unknown to you that the food had been on fire. And you quickly touched the pot, the cover of the pot. The same energy you use in touching the cover of the pot is the same energy you are going to use to remove your hand. If that pot is normal aluminum pot, why? Because it is going to be hot and you quickly remove your hand from it. That is stimuli. Another example is maybe you want to sit down on a chair, unknown to you that there is a needle there, and the needle is just standing like this and prick your bum bum. What happens? You're going to stand up immediately. You have responded to stimuli. Are we together? So I'm trying to explain to you what stimuli or stimulus mean. The stimulus Stimulus is same thing with stimuli. This is singular and this is plural. Next, you have your G. G stands for what? Growth. Growth means all living organisms grow. As long as you are living, we are going to be seeing growth. Whether you are a living organism in the belly, a living organism anywhere, whether you are a plant or animal, you must grow. The next one, E. E stands for what? Excretion. All living organisms excrete. Excretion simply means removal of what? Waste product of metabolism that is toxic to the body. So all living organisms remove waste product out of their body so they can function better. Then the next one is R. The second R stands for what? Reproduction. All living organisms reproduce. Whether you are plant or animal, you must reproduce. For continuity, there must be what? Reproduction. So whether asexual or sexual, all living organisms must reproduce for the sake of what? Continuity. If they fail to reproduce, what will happen? After some time, they will no longer be on the face of the earth. We say they have gone into extinction. Extinction. Are we together? Next, you have your D. D means what? Death. All living organisms die. Now, all living organisms die, or we say all living organisms expire. So whether you are a plant or an animal, a day will come, you will no longer be functioning. So we say that organism has died, or that organism has expired. Okay, so let's look at the differences between plants and animals. Okay, so let's look at the differences between plants and animals. Number one, animals locomote. Like I said earlier, locomotion simply means movement from one place to another. When you move from one place to another, we say you are locomoting. But plants do not locomote. They only move. A plant can be like this. After some time, it's not getting enough light. Maybe there's enough light from this side. After some time, you see the plant start tilting towards the place where the light is coming from. Are we following? So you say it is moving, but it's not going to move. A plant can never move from where it is to another place. For example, a plant cannot move from your village to your yard, to your compound. Are we following? If you see a plant moving, what will you do? So I'm trying to let you know what locomotion is. Are we together? So plants do not locomote. Only animals move from one place to another. 2, they are heterotrophic. Heterotrophic means that they do not produce their food. They do not produce their food. Animals do not produce their own food. In other words, they depend on other organisms to produce food for them. Hence, animals are known as consumers because they cannot produce their food. But plants, they are autotrophic. This means that they can do what? Produce their food. They produce their own food. Okay, next, they possess no chlorophyll. For you to be able to produce your food, you must have what we call chlorophyll. So because animals do not have chlorophyll, they cannot produce their food. But in plants, there is presence of what? Chlorophyll. Hence, they can produce their food. Next, animals do not have a cell wall. Animals, it doesn't exist there, but plants have cell wall. Animals have sense organs. We have 5 sense organs: the eye, the tongue, the ear, the nose, and the skin. But plants do not have cell wall. Next, animals, growth is limited or definite. Growth is limited. For example, growth is limited in plants. Growth is limited in animals. There is a certain point where you get to, you will stop growing. Are we together? There is a certain point where you get to, you will stop growing. But it's not like that with animals. For example, a man, an age, 21 years, you will stop growing. You will begin to develop. All your body will begin to develop. But it's not so with plants. Plants, they keep on doing what? Growing. That is why that coconut in your village, every year the coconut is still growing, growing, until a day your grandmother will say, if we leave this coconut one day is going to fall on our house and break the roof, and that's going to cost us lots of money. So let us do what? Cut it down. Why? Because plants growth is unlimited. Next, fast response to stimuli. Animals, they respond fast. For example, if you are standing and unknown to you that needle is on the ground, you are walking barefooted and you mistakenly step on a needle, you know that speed you will use to remove your leg immediately. You respond quickly to stimuli. But it's not so with plants. If you carry needle and go and choke plants, will it respond immediately? No. Their response is usually very slow. Next, animals store carbohydrates as glycogen. They store carbohydrates as glycogen. Or you say they store sugar as glycogen. But plants store sugar or carbohydrates as starch. So these are some of the differences between a plant and animal. So let's look at organization of life. So we come to the end of today's class. Thank you very much for watching. Please do well to subscribe to our channel and also invite your friends to do the same. The next topic will be on organizations of life. So quickly move to the next video now and watch. Thank you very much for watching and bye.